Here at the stores, the MacBook Pro is now available in three configurations, range from 2.4, 2.5, and of course 2.6. And also the 17-inch is now available in only one configuration, this is 2.5. But you can pair slightly more to get the custom to others, which is the i7 one, but I don't see very much difference with the two model. Welcome back, this is Macbook. Welcome back once again to meet once again. I work at one of the Apple retail store and I'm in my house. I just wanted to explain briefly about how to choose the right Mac for you. The new MacBook Pro is now available in three different sizes, starting at 13, 15, and 17. Okay? For all of you who've been waiting, lining up to get the i5, unfortunately, you have to go for the 15-inch only. Let's get pretty closer to the difference between the prior 13-inch and also the latest 13-inch. Apple claims on their website that you will get 10 hours of battery life. What is the secret? The secret is the new graphic card named NVIDIA GeForce 320M, which shares the primary RAMs of the motherboard. They said it consumes less energy, about 20% compared to the prior one. But you will get exactly the same processor but slightly faster, which is the Intel Core 2 Duo. Are you with me? So, what will be the benefits if you move or switch from the prior ones to the latest one? Firstly, longer battery life. Okay, because due to the less consumption for the energy, concerning the different chipset for the graphic card. And secondly, slightly faster processor. And 4 gigs of RAM is standard across the entire line. The entry level you got 2.4 for the processor, and the top of the line is 2.6. 4 gigs of RAM is standard. The entry level for the hard drive is 250, and the top of the line is 320. Same graphic card. Okay, but the launch's price, I think that the base price is price attractive. But the thing is, you won't get the i5. So I have read a numbers of preview on a numbers of website, and I can say the latest one compared to the prior 13-inch MacBook Pro is 80% faster, honestly. But the type of the graphic card is still pretty much the same, which is something called shared memory graphic card. Okay, so let's move on to the next step, which is the 15. And once again, congratulations, you got the Intel Core i5. Even though it's not the real quad-core processor, but I can say it's a hi-fi. The primary benefits of the i5 is there's a features called Turbo Boost technologies. And Turbo Boost technologies allow you to, like some sort of an increase the speed, the overall speed of the processor, just for temporarily, due to the overall task and periods, depending on what are you doing at that time. Okay, so, but the primary point is you will get very fast graphic cards. This time, which is called NVIDIA GeForce GT3T Zeros. That's the new lines up from NVIDIA. So now let me get it straight. In order to get the 13 or the 15, previously, in terms of the graphic card, they were identical, but this time, apart from the screen size, you will get faster graphic cards, almost double. Okay, so it's depending on how do you plan on using your computer for. Okay? In terms of the clock speed for the processor line, because they have 3 models, are you with me? For the 15-inch, 4 gigs of RAM is standards across the entire line. And then, the entry level you got 320 hard drive, but for the mid-range and the top of the line you got 500 gig. Same graphic card, okay? But the top of the line for the 15-inch, you got the processor, which is the Core i7. And the RAM for the graphic card is 512. Okay? But for me personally, I don't see much difference between the i5 or i7. It's slightly, probably like 15 or 20%. I mean, according to the summary that I got from a number of websites I read, and we had meetings about it at Apple, so it's depending on you now. So first you have to determine how do you plan on using your computer for. Because, please be aware of this, because nowadays, I mean, at my store, lots of people kept asking me about whether to get the laptop or a desktop one. I would say back like, okay, how do you plan on using your computer? Like, if you do 3D rendering graphics like 3D Max or Maya, all that stuff, few people tend to do this on the road. They always tend to do this kind of tasks in their studio. Okay, but for like, okay, photographers, you want to do like, you take lots of pictures on the road, and you want to do initial state of photo editing. If you don't do things seriously, you go back to the studio anyway. So it is very important. And lastly, the 17-inch MacBook Pro. The 17-inch MacBook Pro is now available in only one configuration, which is the i5, but Apple allow you to make a custom to orders. Through the Apple online store, you pay a bit more, you get i7, but it's depending on you. And also both 15 and 17, they also have another option which is called anti-glare screen. If you don't like any, too much of the ambient lights, reflecting blacks to your eyes, and want this graphics manifest on the screen due to your numbers ambient lights are used, and then the glare reflects that, bounce back to your eyes. I would suggest to go for the custom to order. Okay, not put the frames on that, because if you put any anti-glare frames on your Mac, you won't get the actual colors before you print it out. So this is very important. So I would suggest to go for the original's anti-glare screen. But this will not be like a standard model. You have to order this through the Apple website. And this time, I think the most important consideration should not be the screen size or should not be price. It's supposed to be the graphic card, the frame rate per second. Is very important. Thanks for watching.